Welcome everybody to our live stream here on lichess and Twitch. Morning time here in Budapest. Well, sort of morning. It's 11 o'clock. Morning for me anyway. Not an early riser. Astrobate, on the other hand, just never sleeps. What is up, man? When do you sleep? That's the key question. Alright, lots of quotes from Astrobate spamming the chat. When you stop playing for a while, people tend to forget about you. Yeah, keep believing that, Alexandra. Alright, that's the reason. Anyway, we've got, we had a challenge from Drakafire, but he dropped away. We've got creative openings here. Fun doesn't fly. It just sounds too lame. Creative openings. I've decided to rename this. Weird Wednesday with creative openings. Drakafire 3-3. 56-1. Drakafire 3-3 challenging me. Guys, if you'd like to play, the challenge time is between 5+3 and 7+3. You've got to have a reasonable amount of time. I can actually get into the game, really concentrate, discuss the game while we're playing. So it's not just another 3-0 or 5-0 online chess blitz game. It's more of a learning experience. Thus the 5-3 through 7+3 time controls. Alright, I like a nice relaxed pace. We can enjoy our food here. Mr. Coffee shall update. Let Mr. Coffee know. Princess Chess. Wow. Princess Chess in the time zone pretty early in the morning. Alright, Drakafire and Princess Chess. I hope you guys slept well. So I don't know where Drakafire. Drakafire, where are you? I'm not sure where Drakafire is located. Is it my move? I had this game with Reapone a few days ago where I did that again, where I forgot that I was white. We all have our demons. Sometimes I don't know what color I am, whose turn it is. Obviously I was distracted. Let's start with the bird's opening. Bird. Violently leaving the standard paths here. Okay, Drakafire likes to play interesting openings as well. You can never guess what you're going to get. Drakafire is quite creative. Creative chess openings on Wednesday morning here with I Am Sledgy. We'll be going back to sleep after this. Wow, back to sleep? You woke up just to play one game? Or you never went to sleep? Back to sleep implies you were sleeping, woke up, and you're going to play this one game and go back to sleep. Arsenal fan, we missed you yesterday. Were you at the pub or something? Lots of family responsibilities, work. I'm just kidding. How's the local pub lockdown? How's the south of England for COVID? F4, D5. You can't play those tournaments. Oh, my tournaments? For your mental well-being? Alright, don't want to force you. My tournaments are highly, highly suspicious. We had one of your, well, we had one of your, sketchier characters in the tournament yesterday. You probably wouldn't appreciate that. I'm not sure. I didn't really analyze the games, but we did have a 1700 supposedly from the UK who was playing way beyond that yesterday. I almost thought they might win the tournament. Bishop G4, Drakafire. This is a good line against everything. Everything unusual you can play like D5 and Bishop G4. Princess Chess, you don't have Don't have to wake up anyway for work. Bishop g4. Maybe everybody's on lockdown. I can't call in sick to work and lie to my boss. That's the worst thing about being self-employed. That's a new quote. That's a good one. Alright, anyway. It's off for the day. Ooh, they were on Arsenal fan? What are you talking about? What are you, the new Bob? You're instilling hatred and vitriol. Acerbic. So G4 is not really cool. I guess I'm supposed to play E3 there, right? I've probably played this before. E3 seems like the sound move. What am I going to do about F6? Just go back? If F6 then G4? I think we have a problem here. Man, I've never played this before. This is a bad idea. Okay, that's the idea, to be creative, right? As I've said before, if you make a mistake, you just have to retreat. There's nothing shameful about retreating, Donald. It looks like theory. G4, E6. Not an option. Schieberspieler, welcome. Can't remember what I said 5 seconds ago. Yeah. I don't like this. I don't like any of my options here, to be honest. I'm just gonna go back. That's all I can do. You're very popular, the outspoken Arsenal. How did the titled whatever it is go, Schieberspieler? We tuned into Tranquilizer for a minute. He was watching Yubaba's last round, but he didn't mention how you did. You're not as important as Yubaba, Schieberspieler, apparently, in the grand scheme of things. But I consider you just as important. Alright, C4. How did your tournament go on the Evil Chess site? White male privilege. You scored 4 out of 11, lost on time, twice winning positions with increment, and you're on tilt almost every lost game. Quote unquote. Okay, so what do we do? It's the Trumpowski. I'm going home. I've had it with this. Yeah, man, you can't be balanced and do what Yubaba does, right? I mean, Bob says that I'm emotionally unstable or stuff like that, but I mean, it's a mark of genius, right? Do you think because people are great chess players, it means like they're 100%? And plus, look at his rating like fluctuation. His rating tilts between like 2600 and 2730 or something. I mean, dude, yeah, I mean, he's gotta be really, really edgy. He's not like calm and stable, but that's seen in his chess game, right? Kramnik. The opposite of like a Kramnik. Was it Astrobate? You just put in a quote from Kramnik. He never gets nervous during his games. You can see that, right? Kramnik, like, upset and nervous. Or Anand, like, stressed out. That would be kind of funny. I like the white squares here. So Dracofire just straight up undoubling my doubled pawn. Interesting. Spieler would be a grandmaster if he had the chance for some GM norms. He's not interested in being a chess professional. For good reason. Actually, Bercic David, another Hungarian grandmaster, just got a job at Morgan Stanley. Sensible guy. Don't try to be a chess professional. I didn't think you would play Queen H4 check. I don't really see the point here, honestly. I like the queen there. Very centralized. I mean, give him a break, Arsenal. He just got his FM title. You know, how fast do you expect to go through like title after title, like every month or something? As Kasparov would say, Spieler is a strong tourist. He's just a chess tourist, like Shirov. So Bishop c5 is obviously coming. We'll have to watch for the mate in 1. Well, Arsenal, you haven't been here for the last year, 6 months or whatever. That kind of limits your information. Yeah, we know you're not a psychopath. Not completely, anyway. Not on an intrapersonal level. Alright. Dracofire is a little too creative. Creative Wednesday. Fun just doesn't cut it. And weird has this negative connotation. So I thought we'll call it creative openings. Fun is boring. Weird is this tendency to have a negative connotation. So I'm updating the title of the stream. Just anything creative, you know. The key is to be creative and not dogmatic. What are we going to do here? I mean, my one concern is Bishop c5. I'd rather not lose my pawn. We have total control of the white squares. That's where black's weakness lies. How can I solve all the problems here? Keep the d5 pawn protected. I mean, even that is not essential, honestly. Non-essential personnel. Non-essential personnel. Jabava. Speaking of Jabava, we've got our queen on e2 and knight on c3. That's a favorite of his. Now all we need to do is like b3, bishop e2, which actually makes sense in this type of structure. I'm willing to give you the pawn. Help yourself. Knight d5, easy win. Okay, this is a cool idea here. Or maybe surrounding pawn. I've got control of d3, which is a weak square. Why not bishop e5 check? Well, I thought he would play c6. I guess that's a good move, though, ultimately. I didn't want to have to like spend a tempo moving my bishop again. Schieberspieler's probably focusing on pawn structure. Now I'm going to lose on time. This is not the best move, but I've got to be practical here. I have 7 seconds left. And I said, we talked about the references to Jabava, so I feel obliged to set up a b3 attack. Whoa. Black's making this work. I think he has a pretty reasonable position now due to my inaccuracies. My latest inaccuracies. I guess I'm not castling kingside, according to you. Giving up on that approach. A little bit of cheesy noob. Maybe e4 there. Yeah, I don't think so. I just dropped an exchange. Damn, that was sort of dumb. Still better, but it's not much. Now he'll lose on time. He's accomplished a lot in his life. I just dropped an exchange. But I'm probably okay. Maybe white's even better. It's too much to ask, I'm still better. Computer still thinks I'm better there. It wants you to play... Oh, you have knight f2. Oh my god. Look at that. That's kind of a problem, man. Look at that. What? Look at this crazy variation. I don't lose a piece because of this, this, and this. Just by complete accident, your knight on h3 is trapped. So I saw everything. We totally saw everything. But I think this is a bad move. The temptation is strong to play this move, 95, but that's messed up. Like, my only move is e3 in this position. Depressing to self-pin with e3, though. Couldn't you do like a gym type of thing with b3? Can't be that bad. This would... I mean, it could transpose to one of Jim's b3 systems. But I don't think it's that bad. But that's funny how e3 is my only move. Princess, what's up? Kylor Mirales, Arsenal fan. All you guys are subscribers to the stream. Actually, Dracofire is no longer a subscriber. Subscriber? Dracofire, you're no longer a subscriber and I took your challenge first? What? He's getting around the system. Alright, weird openings. Creative openings. We're being creative today. Princess Chess is very systematic, closed Sicilian aficionado. But I think she's pretty good tactically. Arsenal fan did redeem my message. Highlight my message 380. Spent some time in Mark stream. I don't know who that is. The other day, and a couple of his subs donators were talking about how they'd smashed 2100 FIDE players over the board. Dude, that's like, welcome to the United States. False narrative is where it's at, man. It's very popular now. Deluding people and taking their money. That's what great people do. Delude their followers and take all their money. He's got to be a Trump voter. The madman involved there. I don't delude you guys. You all suck. I suck too. I can barely beat a 2100. Come on. On a good day, I can take them out. Bishop c4. Alright, so you got a player who plays the closed Sicilian here, playing Bishop c4. Obviously we can't get a Sicilian, but still. This is the move of a player who I think likes kind of closed games, looking for a bishop's opening. We don't want to give them e5. Keep it fluid. So, Arsenal, you have a 1900? Do you have an ELO rating? Do you have a FIDE rating? I wasn't sure. Maybe you had some provisional rating. Or are you just approximating? I know you have an ECF rating or ECF rating. The ECF just transferred to a 4-digit ELO? No way. Are you serious? After all those years of being defiantly independent, they're going to conform? Does this have something to do with Brexit? Hey, how you doing, Parham C? Damn. Dominic Cummings must not be happy. Conservatives at the ECF. We want to keep our nationalist rating system. That doesn't seem right. Can we turn everything into politics? I can try to find a way to convert everything into a joke about politics. Even Asterbate beats 1900s because he's deluded himself into thinking he's great. But maybe that's what that stream is about, man. Deluding yourself and your followers into thinking that you're great. Does that sound familiar? It's got to rub off at some point. Fedamaster. We haven't rated Fedamaster in a while. He just went live. Alright. Maybe we'll raid someone after the stream is coming to a close. Princess Chess is basically trying to play the closed Sicilian anyway. In case you didn't notice. It's like a London system on the other side of the board. You're basically playing the London system. I thought I banned the London system from the stream. What happened with that? The point here was to be creative, right? There is a point where you get too creative, obviously. I think I'm getting there. B5 was a little too aggressive. Oh man, that could be toastified in one move. Acerbate, bishop b7, bishop f7 check, king f7, knight g5 check. Oof. I'm not sure it works, but I don't really feel like finding out. Probably going to want to take this if something bad happens. I feel like I'm playing Morales. White's still trying to force the closed Sicilian. What did Schieberspieler say? He's shy. Well, yeah, it's not something you should do unless you're serious about it. Maybe, I don't know. There's no jumping into streaming. It's a very serious business. I recommend video games and political discussion. You helped a new streamer with an on-stream lesson the other day. Yeah, I mentioned last week I have a friend who's a poker player who also likes video games, and he's contacted me about meeting up to train him and how to do it. Why did I play b5? Wow. I really wanted to weaken my pawn on b5 unnecessarily. Alright. I'm not going to play c5 just on principle. Then princess chess. It's not really a closed Sicilian. We don't want to give her that satisfaction of feeling justified about her opening here. You're just pretending you're playing a closed Sicilian. I'm just not going to castle ever. Okay, I mean, the thing is, like, you have to understand, I think a lot of people, it depends, like, if you're not English language first language, you know, if English is not your first language, in other words, if you're streaming in a language that's not your first language, people are more tentative about it. You know, I'm sure that, like, Vital Bente, he's not as confident in his English as you know, Hungarian or Romanian, so he probably felt a little nervous about streaming in English, which is like his third language. I'm sure that Schieberspieler would feel more comfortable streaming in Hungarian than English, but I don't know if you want to do that or just in English. But I think once you once you start, you'll feel comfortable. You don't have to speak perfect English. Yeah, when he first started streaming, he was streaming in like Romanian. I was like, dude, what are you doing? You're not gonna have enough of an audience if you do that. Learn chess in English? That's cool. So you think in English. I just don't think, and I think Arsenal knows where I'm coming from. See, that explains why Schieberspieler is so strong. He actually thinks. Way beyond us, man. We're playing on intuition. Oh no, a Star Trek reference just popped up yesterday. Counselor Troy beat Data in Star Trek The Next Generation in three-dimensional chess, and they were like, I sound like such a nerd for talking about this, but look at this closed Sicilian thing. They were like, the computer loses to the counselor. Data, it's about intuition. Right. What a misinterpretation of chess. Data would destroy Counselor Troy every single game. It's such a lie. Typical Hollywood mischaracterization of chess. You know the computer would just destroy the human every single game. Of course, that was made in the 90s. And in a way, it's actually more accurate. It's actually fairly accurate. Damn, Princess Chess has just got this closed Sicilian thing down to like a science. It's very similar to playing Morales. You should really get together with Morales and do some training games together. Like clones. Clone princess. How's my king doing after G takes F? But White is playing with intuition now. Is my king too open? I actually missed that. I can't calculate that fast. Man, you're remarkably fast, Princess Chess. You just have this pace? Wow. Holy God. What? This is supposed to be 5 in the morning and they just woke up. I'm like, yeah, right. Who plays chess like that at 5 o'clock in the morning when you just woke up? Nobody I know can play like that. How can you possibly do that? What is going on here? How could you play like that if you just woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning? That's like physically impossible. And like gaining time on me, playing perfect moves. This is a weird move. What's with King G5 though? Oh my God, look at this move. What? You're up to 48 seconds? What is going on around here? Are you even serious? What is the deal? How can you even be that fast? Dude, do you play like 15-second Ultra Bullet or something? She must play 15-second Ultra Bullet. But she's gaining like 3 seconds every single move. She's up to like 56 seconds. Watch the time here. Look at the time. Starting like around move 40. 44 seconds. 45 seconds. 45 seconds, 46 seconds. Yeah, it's only 1 second. She's only gaining about 1 second per move. 2 seconds in that case. Between 1 and 2 seconds. Check this game out. White played brilliantly. I didn't like my decision to lead myself with this isolated pawn on a5. But now white lost the thread. White's supposed to be playing on the king side here. But this is unbelievable. Watch this. E5. First of all, I was like, oh, I can take on f3, but then it's check. I can't. I have to take. Knight takes. And now I thought that white was going to play for queen takes e7. So after this, white has rook a5, which I completely missed. Wait, not this position. Takes, takes. That's the best moves for white here. Queen d5, knight c6, queen c6, knight d4. And I missed rook a5. Of course, because I have like 6 seconds. You found that move in like 1 second. Played this move in actually 3 seconds. And now I'm lost. Knight takes c6 was forced. Why? Couldn't you do rook? Oh no, it's mate. Yeah, you have to. Yeah, well that's easy to see. But I expected white to like grab this and drop a piece. Something stupid. You know, most people with a few seconds left would drop a piece. But no. This turned the game. There's no way I'm finding rook b8 here. With 6 seconds. And now I'm just lost. Knight e7 is better keeping the queens on the board. Exactly. White was better like the whole game. From start to finish. Kylor Morales, Arsenal fan, Schieberspieler. Pretty high quality chess. For 5 a.m. I would say. I wouldn't even be able to be conscious. Kylor's quick too. I think probably plays too fast. I disagree. Not enjoyable. But I learned my lesson. I knew it was dubious. I shouldn't have played b5. At the end of the day, I guess it didn't hurt me that much. Maybe it's safer to play b6 instead and not weaken my queen side. Of course, it's experimental what I'm doing, but that's the point. Knight a5 is probably justified. Same idea from the closed Sicilian, but there's no c5. We're just playing like a accelerated Sicilian. Or decelerated Sicilian. What is that, a poop emoji? GM Milk has a poop emoji? That's his, like, emote? That's cool. D4. Best move? I like this best. If you say so, I'll take your word for it. Jim, I played f4. I played an f4, d5, knight f3, bishop g4, and I was tempted to play b3, but I didn't do it. That looked like one of your openings. Because you oftentimes play b3, bishop e2, and then later, after bishop g4, take on f3 and then play f4 anyway, so it would amount to the same thing. c4 and knight f3. This isn't that creative. I should try to do something different. Do you guys consider the Aliakin's defense to be a standard opening, or do you think that it's unusual? I think a lot of people maybe consider it really wacky and out there, and others are like, oh yeah, that's totally a standard chess opening. It all depends who you ask. I think it's highly risky. We have a player here in Hungary, Zoltán Varga, who plays it pretty regular. But he's pretty much one of the only ones. The only really strong player. I'm trying to think of any other strong players in Hungary play the Aliakin. Not really. Not of modern guys. So c takes d6 here. Wasn't this a position where this is where Xerox had some crazy idea, right? He was doing d5. That's the Xerox gambit. We saw some crazy games with even Aximov in the database, or not Aximov, maybe Aximov, or no, the Latvian. Who's the Latvian guy who wrote a book on this? Yeah, in the same category as the orangutan and the St. George. I think it's better than the St. George and orangutan, but not by much. Yeah. He played d5 here, the Xerox gambit. The Bagirov had some game with the opponent playing d5. But nobody takes it. I think you're supposed to play e6. Anyway, I'm stalling here. If cd6 to cdc. Delayed. If cd6 d5, I don't like it. I guess I have to play ed. You see, this is the other thing. Aliakin players generally like to play with the capture toward the center, which is more imbalancing. If I wanted to play the French exchange variation, I would play the French, you know? It feels like you're playing the French exchange when you get the structure. And so, who the heck plays the Aliakin's defense so they can get a French-like position? Creative. Speaking of creative, queen d3. Jim, thanks for donating. Been a kind of quiet week so far. d5 anyways. Let's do it. This may or may not be dangerous for my health. That's a cool way to unpin, man. Kyler has gained rating points, right? Well, he's 1700 in Blitz. But 1900 Rapid. I have noticed a tendency for him to play too quickly. I've noticed a tendency for myself to play too slow. We know that already. I enjoy playing slowly, though. I like thinking. Most people don't like thinking. It's like painful. It's too much like work. Reminds them of work. I don't know what work is anyway. This B3 looks crazy slow. I guess we're out of here. And then we get to the E file quickly. So this could be very dangerous for white, actually. Just getting outstripped in development. Schieberspieler thinks Arsenal is knowledgeable. Yeah, how do you study Arsenal? Mostly poring over encyclopedias. Well, I think you have more than one strength, Schieberspieler. Your opening knowledge is rather, let's say, limited because you don't play that many different openings, but what you play, you know extremely well. I try to play too much stuff and I don't know any of it as well as I need to. But I think you're better at a lot of things, not just openings. Endgames are pretty good. Strategic play is excellent. This is a weird position. He gets away. I don't know how to keep him trapped in the center. Am I missing something here? Maybe I missed bishop takes f3. Try to take on c4. Yeah, well, I mean, you can't be good at everything. But I don't think Schieberspieler is bad at tactics. He's just not playing the game based on tactics. Some people try to, like, base their entire game on tactics. Yeah, you're more opportunistic. But that's my philosophy about chess. I mean, I don't think that we're playing for tactics. Tactics are the culmination of an advantage. That's Botvinnik. I mean, some people, yeah, their whole game is basically just playing for tricks. That's a different philosophy about the game. I mean, it's possible to play like that. Of course. It's like standard park hustler style. More and more people play like that, though, because they learn from playing computers. I don't have much here. Where's my advantage? You see more and more people just completely clueless strategically, but they're like tactical machines. Because they're self-taught. They're self-taught. They never read a chess book. They did like 10 million puzzles online. And they have a lot of bad habits strategically, but they can bail themselves out when they get a bad position with some sort of resourceful tactic. That's not going to work very well at the highest levels, but it would be enough to get you to like FM or something, like Schieberspieler. I'm just kidding, obviously. Schieberspieler's cheap tactical style. Oh, that reminds me of someone, you know. Did you ever play Medved Zoltan? Schieberspieler? His handle on he's a good player. His hand, we played quite a few times. His handle on ICC is Tacticush. He's actually an awesome like tactical player and positionally and end games. He's not bad tactically. You know, he's kind of similar to you, but just he has a wider, weirder opening repertoire. He plays kind of strange stuff. But I like how he called himself Tacticush. Like, to throw people off. It's funny because his wife really is kind of Tacticush. They have like opposite styles. She seems like she's all tactics and no positional play. It's funny if you like marry someone who has the opposite chess style as you. Opposites attract, right? That's what they say. It would be hard to teach that person, though. You completely identify the game in a totally different way. Kylor. Didn't seem that phased, but I mean, I can't believe you could get away with this. Queen d3 on move 7 in an open position. That's unreal. How can that move? How can that move go unpunished? I had to have something sharper, maybe like knight c6 or something. I have long COVID. Permanent brain. Permanent fogginess in my brain. I had COVID before there was COVID. COVID brain. Alright, we got challenges. Miralis, Arsenal. These guys are all... You're all grandmasters. Stronger than me. The challenges are stronger than the streamer. Black to play and ascertain an advantage. Queen b2. Queen b2. No, you're not allowed to trade queens. That's what we want. You have a3 now? No. Oh, I thought he should have played queen b2 to literally leave my queen out of play. I could be in trouble after queen b2. Okay, I can take. Yeah, I can take on c4. And f7's pretty well protected by the bishop on h5. Yeah, that's not so clear. White is managing to keep everything protected. God. That's all I get. It's like those Disney World t-shirts. My uncle went to Disney World and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. This knight needs to renovate. Not a slow player, Kai Lord. Master Kai Lord. Now we have to work at winning this knight in game. Not sure about g5 or not. White resigned. Premature, to say the least. Why did you resign now? Double knight endgame, down a pawn. I mean, my pawn is a long way from coming in. Okay, Sheer Spiller immediately spotted a strong plan with knight f8, knight e6, targeting the weakness. Maybe he can defend. It's obviously really hard for white. Alright, ambulance. Bogatishiran. Nice, nice. Joining the team. Alright guys, I gotta close the window. It's a little chilly in here. And there's ambulance. Ambulance sounds. Please no tournament advertisements. It's so annoying. Mirales. Black every time against this guy. Again, man. Again. F4. You remember when I played G5 against you? I gotta channel my creative juices. Sometimes you're just in the mood to be creative and sometimes not so much. Gotta come up with something creative. The other thing is, I think the beard. My beard isn't. We gotta shave. This beard is not making me. It's blocking my brain waves or something. 500 bits from beer or beard. 500 bits for the beard. I said beard. I love that. Dragon. We got the creative. Now I feel more creative. From WJ Loof. Change beer. I need caffeine in my beer. Do they make beer with caffeine in it? You just woke up? Heard beer. I said beard, but it's okay. Woke up like Princess just woke up, playing 2300 strength at 5 o'clock in the morning. I hope we don't get a challenge for WJ Loof. You guys who just woke up seem kind of brutal. I think she was lying and stayed up all night or something. How could you be that sharp to play like super fast Blitz game if you just woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning? She must have been up all night or something. No way you just woke up and could play that fast. Alright, anyway, F4, so got a Grand Prix attack player. This is the same thing as what I did earlier. Oftentimes the F4 games turn into closed Sicilians. I don't know what to do. We've played this way before. I almost don't consider this a weird move. Although frankly, I never like have checked the Opening Explorer database to see who's played knight h6 against f4. I wouldn't know if Rapport, Ricard, or some other player has literally employed this or not. I don't know. But if you can play knight h3 type ideas, it normally makes sense. It makes sense, to play this when you're white and you have an extra move. Let's say like d5, we've got the f5 square. But I don't have that now. We can try to get control of d5. Maybe that's the best I can do. Schliemann. Oh yeah, if it pops up. It's kind of weird. It's semi-non-standard. WJ Loof. Although, I mean, at some level, I guess. Like the Aliakin's defense. It depends on who you ask. If you say something like the Schliemann or the Aliakin's defense, real, conservatives will say it's an unusual opening. Liberals will say not. You can view everything in the context of our politicized world. f4 I don't think is a great move for white in these kind of positions. So I'm playing an improved e4 knight h6 in a way. This pawn's going to have to get captured at some point. No, I don't have to. I can gambit it, but I'm not going to take that chance against Morales. This is not really a Scandinavian. I don't really condone the queen d8 Scandinavian, but somehow I feel like in this position it makes more sense. This is definitely not good. Queen a5, I guess, is not that unreasonable. I feel like I like queen d8 best here. I don't know why it feels different than a normal Scandinavian. So it's Scandinavian with f4 knight h6. We should have this this should be like a thematic tournament. We'll play the Scandinavian with queen d8, and then white plays f4 knight h6, and just start from this position. Totally standard. Always fianchetto the king's side, especially against Morales. He likes to attack on that flank, so got to be extra careful with him. But again, he's not playing the close Sicilian. It's funny how these close Sicilian players, Princess Chess and Morales, both gravitate toward bishop c4. When you take them out of their close Sicilianness, they automatically gravitate. It's that Grand Prix attack school. They like that. c5's back into a Sicilian. But I wouldn't give Princess Chess that satisfaction. Here, I mean, the control of d4 is pretty freaking important, I would say. I don't mind doing this. We're going to transpose to a weird Grand Prix attack where he's traded off his central pawn. That's beneficial for black. Yeah, you would never do that. This is like my roommate from 1994. He was 1700. 1600, really. He would play the Grand Prix attack with e5 and let you trade off the e5 pawn. But Morales is not going to go down easy. Check. Immediately an ultra-violent move. Screw that, man. I don't care. I don't care if you double my pawns. I want control of the center. This is unbelievable. 95. Almost guarantee that's the best move. I wouldn't have even considered it. He's using this as like a wedge to get into the game. The e5 square. That is an amazing move. I shouldn't allow this. But it kind of goes against his style to play tactical Schieberspieler-like style here. Not really Morales' thing, you know, pawn structure chess, but he can play that way. White is doing all right. Well, knight takes e5. I mean, my f7. My f7 starts to get really sketchy. Yes, it's possible. Knight takes e5, pawn e5, but he's threatening bishop h6 and crashing through on f7. I'm not sure what's going on there. You never want to let Morales have the initiative under any circumstances. That's number one rule. Now he's going to turn into like Nimzovich. He's not bad positionally either. Situation is pretty complicated. But I like it better to play against this guy when he doesn't have an attack against my king. He's very good at attacking the king. You keep him away from that, and it's not as bad. Certain players thrive on direct attack against the king more than others. Yeah, e5 sacrifices usually. Always has control of e5. Basically, it's positionally based. Yeah, he's not like Mikhail Tal or something. Yeah, strategically based sacrifices. So now what happens? I have knight e3. He was a little greedy there. I was looking at this move earlier in a different variation. Oh, you kidding me? You're gonna trap my rook? Boris Spassky? He's gonna trap my rook Boris Spassky style. With bishop e3. How old is Spassky? Never hear anything about him. Oh no, you saw that. This is totally... Only mid-70s? He has to be older, dude. Wait, who was 90 recently? I can't believe that. 83 sounds about right. Yeah, man, he's got to be older than 70s. Auerbach's 98. He's got a pawn for the exchange here. You can't take a pawn on b2 because your rook is trapped. And this is Spassky's favorite square. So many times in this closed Sicilian he would like exchange, and now white has attacking, like a mating attack on the king side out of the blue. Are you even kidding me? The line between like winning and losing is very, very narrow. I looked at that, but my e7 pawn is hanging. I mean, obviously Arsenal to fianchetto the queen on g7. But that's part of his whole scheme, that this is hanging. I can't just drop my e7 pawn. This is my only defense. Jesus. Gonna defend the pawn anyway, but I can't live with this knight on e5. What am I doing? Yeah, I mean, it was weird how he just seemed to blunder and have tons and tons of compensation immediately. But I mean, that position starting with 85, so I thought like white is clearly better. Check this out. So this is already played by Ed against Maxim Dlugi. This is a proven fact. Maxim Dlugi and Angelina Belikovskaya were the same person. I was probably there for that tournament. She was like taking down some underprize at the World Open. Highly likely conspiracy theory that Angelina was really Maxim Dlugi. So this is the best move by the engine and played by Formanek, and Morales just happens to find that. Totally turning the position around. Ed actually has awesome score against me. That guy was a good player. He was over 2,500 USCF in his prime. Excellent. Now he's like 2,200. But he was an excellent player. He lost here to Angelina, which is a pretty big upset, actually. But she was Dlugi. At least for a couple tournaments. Yeah, 95 is an amazing move. So I don't know. Like, Ayesta says I should take it. Maybe I should, but I wasn't sure. I was kind of paranoid here. This is exactly what happened in their game. Check. King h1. I mean, who's tricking who here? He was like 2,500 USCF. 2335. FIDE, that's 150 point difference between his ratings. Of course, in those days, like the USCF ratings were at least 100 points inflated. I never beat the guy in like 4 tries. The guy have 2 draws and 2 losses or something. Maybe 3 losses and a draw. Bishop takes e5. Black's just lost. Christ. She played this and she's lost in one move. Wow. Jeez. So Ed took on h6, allowing queen h4. Played g3. He played bishop f7 check. She walks away. g3. Queen h6. Black's just completely lost. But it's still murky enough that she had a chance and she swindled him. Unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, he was 100 times stronger than that woman. But he let her get away. That's sad. He was a math professor at Penn State. Very good player. But, still out there. Anyway, it looks dangerous. I don't know what black should do. So I decided to let Morales take on c6. This is positionally wrong. So I should have played knight g4, duh. Obviously. You have to sack the exchange. Something similar to the game. But you don't have quite as much compensation. In the game, you got a lot of play. c3. Wrong mouse. How does 93 work? I don't lose a piece. Not really understanding this. It looks like I'm losing a piece here on e3. Anyway, guys, let's take smart challenges. I guess I said I saw you castle. The engine just drops off a cliff. It thinks that it's okay at first, then changes its mind. That's funny that this position could even arise, though. The exact same position. Now I get to play Arsenal fan, Sheber's player, and Repun the Pro. Repun the Pro. Morales, have you recovered from your loss? I like how that sketchy account came on yesterday. The super sketchy. And then they were accusing other people of being computers. I tried to resist the temptation of, like, it takes one to know one. That was awkward. Miss Love TV was accusing Repun of being a computer. But that's kind of awkward, isn't it? But if that's the same guy that I think it is, he's really into engines and cheating and making Smurf accounts, and it would be like the third time that he's done that on my stream. I think it's this guy that actually... It's this guy that actually took 1 or 2 lessons with me like 3 years ago. I suspect him because he's from the UK. He has a tendency to pretend he's a woman. That's one of his sort of patterns of behavior. Though if he was really trying to pretend he's a woman or not, but he has that name, Miss Love or whatever, so I assume that's one of his games. I tried to make only very, very vague accusations. Fonza Curry, that's a different guy. The Fonza Curry was tricky because he was... See, that's what made him so hard to detect. He was actually a good player. But this guy is a weak player. Feta Master's here. What's up? What's up, Feta Master? Gonna be on for a while? If you're on later, I'll raid you. Thanks for stopping by. Hadn't seen you on for a while. Yeah, when you're around, I mean, if you're around when I'm finishing my streams, I'll shoot you a raid. You guys can check him out sometimes. I hadn't seen him streaming at the same time as us lately. Check out his streams. The Feta Master. But anyway, the Fonza Curry guy was actually a really strong bullet player, legit. So that's what made him hard to, deal with, because you can't say, hey, you're a beginner who's cheating and it's obvious, The guy is a pretty good player who's cheating off and on, and that makes it very hard to say, well, where is he cheating and where is he really playing? But this guy that did well in the tournament yesterday, I don't know, I have to look at the games. I suspect this other guy, though, when somebody's like 1600 or 1500 and they're cheating, you can see a big difference between their real game and when they're cheating. With Fonza Curry, it was tricky because, his real game was like, or maybe 2200. But when there's like, obviously look at the game that I played with that guy yesterday. I mean, it didn't even know how to play the opening, like 5 moves. There are signs, right, that this doesn't make sense. Blobix, what's up? We're trying something weird here. Creative Blobix. Blobix, we missed that you never play on the stream anymore. He a fragile ego. I miss Blobix's Sveshnikov. He had a huge CPL in every game, also lost the games. So, Schieberspieler, I didn't check the games. Maybe I'm wrong. I just saw the results and I was assuming it was the same guy again. But I guess it could be someone completely else. The game against me was weird, though. How fast he would play. I think he got to like a drawn ending, too. I mean, it's so hard to tell now if people are cheating or not. They're getting smarter about it, and they're Very strong move a5 here. You know, they can cheat for 20 moves, make a couple of intentional blunders. It's impossible to know. The best cheaters know when to blunder on purpose. Oh, who are you talking about, Antonio? Well, I wasn't talking about Repun. I was talking about the other guy. It's possible the Repun just played a really immortal game against you. You guys all deserve your immortal games. Everyone deserves an immortal game or two. Arsenal fan, who's obviously very sketchy. Right. I just didn't know who we were talking about now. I mean, there was a guy who... The guy who had 20... The 1700, right? That's what I was talking about. Who was clearly a suspicious account. I didn't know if Sheeberspiller was referring to him or to someone else. Justin's like, I had no speakers. I'm paranoid because the other guy from the UK would have fit the profile perfectly. So now I think like every time it's the same guy. Especially when they had like a female name. That was his other. Favorite thing to do. Pretend he's a woman. We've had a number of those. It's a very common thing. One of my favorite trolls in the beginning of my stream, when I started 4 years ago, was some sorority sister. They claimed they had learned how to play chess like, you know, a month ago. And they were already like master strength. You know, that's pretty weird. Arsenal's playing the London system. Feels like Arsenal, your style has changed since you used to play. Like you've gotten more positional. I guess I should take his bishop before it's too late. I always thought of Arsenal as exceedingly tactical. Not that he was bad positionally, but he was focusing on tactics mostly. It looks like his game has changed to more of a strategically based game. Almost absolutely positional play. Of course, we've played 268 games. I hope that would help. I can take full responsibility for your improvement. Looks like he's playing the Caro Kann. Look at my h2 pawn here. Not excited about that. You don't like castling because your rook is on h8, I assume. Interesting. Wow. That's also not protected. I'm almost full panic mode now. He's used no time, doesn't mind leaving his king in the middle of the board. It never moves backwards. Alright, I'm gonna have to stop that. That's just annoying. I have to time him out. That's gonna be annoying if you're gonna do that all the time. Ken Regan. But that's EGAN. Anyone asking questions about pop music is automatically timed out. New rule. Arsenal fan, have you crossed the 2200 level yet? And why is your bullet rating so low? Maybe I ought to just sacrifice a pawn. Black has like a clear advantage. It's like playing Troll in Chess 960. Jesus. Am I lost yet? The evil chess site. Now he castled. I'm alive. Barely. There's this flow to Arsenal's game. He also seems like he has to be on energy drinks or something. He's so intense and fast. I wish I could feel like that. Got brain fog and I'm like slow. I wasn't always this slow. Of course, talking is a huge handicap. It's a little better when I don't have to express myself. Now, Arsenal fan playing for a queen exchange? Sorry? That's weird. Are you sure this is really Arsenal fan? It's like playing Schieberspieler or something. Dude, why are you playing like Schieberspieler? It's not even playing like Arsenal fan. It's like a totally positional guy. My b7 pawn is not even, it's not even considerable. Not even an option to take on b7. You're automatically trapped. Isn't that amazing? I'm not interested in losing my queen. I didn't know Arsenal was completely strategic based. I thought he was more tactical. He was playing the Benoni, the Sveshnikov. Now you're like a completely different player. Did you really change your style that much since I last played you 6 months ago? That's amazing. Totally paralyzed. Everything doesn't work tactically. Exchanging queens allows bishop b2, which wins by force for black. This is the exact same as yesterday's game. The pressure is overwhelming. When did you start playing like this? I'm in total Zugzwang. Are you serious? I'm just gonna resign here. This is... like playing a GM or something. It's lost after knight g5. I can just resign. I think I'm just lost after knight g5. You'll see it. Just play this. I have no moves. You're threatening this. Check. And take my bishop on d2. How can I possibly defend against that? Okay, I could have played h4. You have 2 minutes to my 5 seconds, and I have no way to defend against knight g5. I have h4, I didn't see it. Yeah, obviously. I haven't seen the game yet, but I trust you guys. I can play h4. I didn't see this. I think that I'm just lost. Because you have double threats of knight takes d4 and knight g5. Yeah, maybe I'm panicking, but I don't like my position. Plus the time. I have 5 seconds. But I was lucky not to lose to yesterday. Knight g5 was clear advantage. Arsenal, when did you change your style completely to being a 100% positional player? Almost like you had a personality flip-flop or something. I guess I would play h4. What am I talking about? No, I figured I was lost after knight g5. I guess I can go back. See, this is what I failed to understand, that I could go back. But it's the only move, and black has a clear advantage. I don't understand why you're 1800 in bullet, Arsenal. Why would you not be like 2200 at least? You should play like slower bullet and you would be 300 points higher. Yesterday's game against Arsenal was devastating too. I was completely crushed 2 days ago. Monday. Yeah. Played stronger than me. I don't know why you even watch my stream. Too good. Alright, knight c3, c5, e4. Mr. Sieberspieler. This is not a good thing for me to play after I lose. But I should play something different. Now I played the Sicilian, I'm stuck with it. Let's try b6. You must not play bullet, Arsenal fan. The only explanation for the fact that your bullet rating is so low could be that you don't play bullet. But you're clearly over 2200 now. And absolutely became a positional player. Total coordination, perfect coordination of all the pieces. It's like playing Braunstein. Of course, I'm playing a weird opening. You took it very seriously. I'm trying to play experimental stuff. I mean, clearly, like, b4 is a bad move. Don't take it too seriously. We're trying to have fun here on Wednesdays, Arsenal. Playing a little bit of unusual openings. Your thirst for victory, apparent. But obviously, you know, b4 in that type of position is terrible for white. Arsenal immediately ripped it apart with a5. Alright, so I've played positions like this. I think h5 is fairly viable when white castles early. Not unsound completely. You gotta go with Schieberspiel. You gotta go psycho against him. If you want to beat him, it has to be like either a perfect game or tactically based. I'm not encouraging people to play bullet chess, so I didn't mean that, you know, saying why is Arsenal 1800 in bullet. But for a player who plays, you know, 2 minutes faster than me in an equal game time, I mean, common sense would dictate that you would be much, much stronger if you were playing faster time control. It doesn't make sense that your rating, you know, is like 1800, but who cares about the bullet ratings anyway? It doesn't mean anything. Just saying. Don't listen to Jim. Don't waste your time playing bullet chess. I'm obviously overrated at 2400. Alright. It's a hedgehog. Look, no pieces. Look, Mom, no pieces developed. Chess is funny. But to play that game using no time at all, that's impressive. Rook d1. Because I don't think strategic games are easy to play quick. Tactics are easy. Studying the Polish opening. The refutation of the Polish. Oh, you did get to 2240 rapid. I'm not surprised. Bishop to d2. Look at this guy. What am I going to do? Bishop d2, just preventing exchange sacrifices. This seems like a weird move to play queen c7 here, honestly. I should play something like knight f6 and just develop. Queen c7 doesn't seem right. My queen actually has some squares this way. I wish we had more time. But Arsenal, if you report people, they should get banned, then you should get your rating points back. Especially if they're that obvious. You don't bother to report them? You should definitely get your points back. All you have to do is ask. Especially if it's that obvious. Are you like chat banned? Maybe he's been chat banned from the mods or something. But because you're chat banned, seriously, you shouldn't be banned from reporting people. I don't think that should be working like that. I don't think they should be separate, you know. If they want to ban you from the site, then ban you from the site. But if you're allowed to be part of the site, you should be able to report people for cheating, just like anyone else. I don't get that. Are you sure you can't report people, or you're just angry at the administrator so you don't bother? No one ever used bots here. I mean, I'm a little frustrated with lichess for other reasons, because of my attempts to help the site in forum posts that were sort of dissed. But you know, if you give up like trying to report the cheaters, you're kind of giving up on chess online. You're still a member of the community even if you're chat banned, Arsenal. Schieberspieler is having trouble figuring out a plan. But to be honest, he was a good sport and he played something that he normally doesn't. Unlike Arsenal fan who wheeled out his A London system game to mercilessly crush me. Whoa. What's up? Double rook sacrifice. You're not allowed to help anyone, Arsenal. Too strong for your own good. If I had to play you 10 times today, I would just quit streaming. Alright. Wow. Oof. See how much stronger Arsenal is than Schieberspieler? Feel better now. Thanks to Schieberspieler for letting me win one. He saw how sad I was about the previous game with Arsenal. Yeah, just avoid any kind of tactics and I just roll over and die. Especially in simple positional games. Alright, now what do we got? Repun the Pro. Player of the Immortal Game. I don't need another Immortal Game today, please. No Immortal Games. Thanks for letting me have my ego back, Schieberspieler. You took one for the team. We've agreed when I lose some bad games, Schieberspieler will sacrifice himself to salvage what's left of my reputation. The Repun family may not be here. Just weren't feeling it today. You didn't have enough. That was our 50th game. I was getting really behind in the overall score too, so it's nice of you. Now knight a3. Weird openings. Sportsman. Sportsman-like creative opening. That's cool. Good to see knight a3. Alright. Well, I don't know. There were those conspiracy theories that Repun is your little brother troll. You do have a lot of similarity. Should I take that? You can take it. I mean, I guess it's a principled thing to do. But on the other side, I also agree with those of you who wouldn't take this knight. You know, it's a strong bishop to give up for a knight on the side of the board. Jim reminds me a little bit of bishop takes f3 in the Larson opening or whatever. Nimzovich. 1b3. Thanks, Arsenal fan. Make me feel better. It's good to know that Shiva Spiller is beatable, though. He's won more than he's lost against me lately. So, he's not perfect. This highly, highly strong move by White. Maybe we are playing the tough Repun today. The one from the tournament yesterday. Now he's going to start trolling me. C4 is definitely the best move for White. 100%. Carving the white squares. No, your dad can't play me. Are we going to do that? Because I'll just resign now. I'm not going to waste my time playing multiple people on one account. C4 is an extremely strong move by White. Please don't troll me. This is definitely White's best move. Black may be in trouble here already. I guess I can play d4. I don't know if it's good enough. It's going to be hard. Yeah, it's unclear. It's a Trompowsky reversed, essentially. That's exactly what it is. But the extra tempo is kind of important. Arsenal, you're not really schizophrenic. I disagree with the diagnosis of your psychiatrist. You seem like one of the more stable people here mentally. You have damn good medication if you are. I better get me some. The 11 move win? Was that the yesterday? The Immortal Game? Astrobate has an Immortal Game too, where he like did this awesome mate in 10 or whatever. It wasn't a perfect game, but he had this insane deep. Do you guys remember that? Astrobate, do you even remember? It's too hard to say Arsenal and Astrobate all the time. They come out of my mouth like too close together. That's why I constantly do that. You guys have to give me a break. Now we're going to see if we're playing Ripun or Richard Rapport. Who will show up? This looks like a Rapport style opening for white. They probably diagnosed Astrobate with ADD. Like, my mom was a school teacher. She said it was out of control. Basically, like, half the children, every child who has some sort of minor attention question, they're diagnosing them as having ADD. Donald Trump clearly taking Ritalin, but he actually needs it. He probably does have ADD. What's up, Padron Tony? I know you don't have ADD. He writes like 600 move notes to his game annotations. Padron Tony is a researcher with a lot of patience. Definitely not attention deficit. What is that? A new game from Masturbate? You guys talking about that? D4 square. If I take on B2, you activate your rook. Knight C5? Man, this could get weird. We'll see if we're playing dad or not. I felt like lately Astrobate hasn't been at his peak. Yeah, we're playing dad. No, I mean B4 is a fairly obvious move, but I mean, come on now. Proposes take back. No, dad's not allowed to play. Ripun, I don't know, man. I told you dad's not allowed to play. He's like self-correcting. He's like, no, dad, stop. B4 is like a brilliant move, by the way. Sacking the exchange, probably the best move. I don't think I can even take it. So he refutes my whole position with B4 and then asks for a take back. Yeah. Just getting sketchier and sketchier all the time here. What about yesterday against Morales? Who were you then? Exactly, pawn to be wild. Totally overprescribed. Donald Trump's behavior is totally normal. Knight takes d3, threatening bishop takes f2 check. Labeling everything. Label culture, it's called. Come on. It's a good thing he didn't play b4. It would have changed the whole game. You know, without this knight stably outposted on c5, my position isn't nearly as good. And I'm not even better. What time is it? 1 o'clock. See, if I move my bishop, bishop g7, take, d4, the whole game starts to favor white. I guess I'm going to have to play e5. I didn't really want to do this. I could have played knight takes d3. No. I have to give it. No, it doesn't work. I didn't want to play e5 because it weakens my white squares. Here, here. h5. At least my knight has a square, but I'm not convinced this is that good. See, his bishop gets out and is relevant. You're 1400. See, he found it. Imagine that. I don't know, we've seen very strange play from Ripun, where he changes strength. Sometimes he's extremely strong, sometimes weaker. We should check his game against Morales from yesterday, though. I haven't seen it yet. I don't want to support baseless conspiracy theories. But an immortal game is hard to resist. You're not 1400, man. You gotta stop doing this. I don't remember you ever accusing anyone, Schieberspieler. Not your style. White is already playing like a 2000 player at least. Okay, his rook's almost trapped here, but he's still not lost. Black's still not winning. I guess I'm better. I'm not even sure about this, honestly. Really close. G5, G4, Rook H6. Oh my gosh. Dude, what is the deal here? Alright. You're 1400, holding his own with an IM in Blitz. It's getting too much now. Honestly, dude. Let's take a look at his game from the tournament. The Morales game. Where's our tournament? Because everyone's talking about this game, I want to see it. I got the wrong link. I just want to copy it. Copy link location. Does that work? I'm tired of like the lying and pretending and stuff. Okay, so this game is not perfect. This is the other game though. This is not the game with Morales. Yeah, I mean, this move is highly suspicious. E5. And that's the engine's suggestion. Definitely not an obvious move. Yeah. Selectively. It could be someone selectively using an engine. I wouldn't think an average player would come up with e5 here. That's a suspicious move, you know, but hardly like you can prove someone's cheating. But it's not a 1400 either, you know. But he makes a mistake. He plays bishop takes d2. So this game, yeah, I mean, clearly you're not cheating. Maybe here and there. Maybe like one move, e5. This wouldn't be enough evidence for anybody. But the e5 move is suspicious. And it's better than a 1400, like, across the board. The other game, but I mean, I wouldn't report anybody for being a cheater based on that game. Obviously. I don't think any of you would. You got the other game? Yeah, 0-0-0, 11 cent upon loss in a 28 move game. Doesn't look good. A couple of those, and I would report them without even looking at the games. But some people think it's okay to cheat in unrated games. So this was the exact same, by the way, I played the exact same game against Morales in the exact same line, and I misplayed it. I played the exact same line. Take bishop c4. Wait a minute. Morales, what did you do? Bishop takes f6. You played e takes f against me. Morales must have been playing fast and then forgot his own analysis. This was news to me. I didn't know this was... Just oddly, Morales forgot to play the right move here with e takes f6. That's kind of funny. If you would play this against me, I'd be happy too. I had a game long ago with bishop h6. So this is the opening explorer. We're still in opening explorer. And now, what does the engine say? c3, queen d2, rook e1, rook e1, queen d2, c3. Any of the above are good. Okay, this is just a logical move. You don't need a computer for that. Also, a choice between a4 and a3, pretty much. That's the best move. Morales is in an unpleasant position. Better for white, it's like a good Alekhine. And now the best possible move, knight g5. Number one move of the engine, knight e4. Number one move of the engine, bishop g5. Number one move. Top two, top three, top two. Yeah, I mean, it's like, if it's not a computer, it's a strong human who's 2,400 FIDE having a good game, you know? So if it was me, I would report this player for being an engine based on their rating and the way the game was played. His bullet is 1847, but you know. So that there's, yeah, this game is not good for black. White is using the computer to play all the moves, it looks like. But let's just keep going, you know. I'm going to play a couple more games. I just wanted to see this. Like, you get deep in the game like this, White has a totally winning position. Now, if I was cheating with a computer, I wouldn't make every move like first choice of the engine. I would make some slight mistakes. Probably. Bishop d6 is not in the top 3, and that's creeping in the top 3 there. Bishop e5, number 1 move. Queen g5, if that's the move, that's a dead giveaway. Yeah. So this is evidence like 100%. White is using an engine for this game. If I see queen g5, it's too obscure of a move. I mean, white could play anything in this position. Arsenal fan, you have a tendency to be devil's advocate a little too much sometimes. But alright. After he played 16 perfect moves in a row, now he plays another move. I mean, I would honestly play like rook d1. Probably develop my last piece or something. It is logical, though. Yeah, it's not a scientific evidence that white is a computer. You're right. Yeah, this game is an engine game. 100%. I would report him. Alright, let's go on to the next game. Jim. Jim is up. B3. Weird openings Wednesday. I've played A5 many times before. Let's try something different. I had E5 the other day against you-know-who. You like to argue, Arsenal, more than the average person. Alright. You enjoy arguing. And I understand, because I do to some degree. Not quite as much as you. But yeah, alright. I mean, I can see. I can see that queen g5 is a logical move. But you're a positional player now, Arsenal. You shouldn't be playing moves like that anymore. That's not your style anymore. Okay, guys, I have time for a game or two more. We had a little break there to see the Immortal game. I'm mostly here to play. But you guys talked about it. I wanted to see for myself. So, I don't know, Jim. I'm running out of things to play against this. I've tried pretty much everything. G5. I think I might have had a chess dream. Something just popped up in my head last minute. Alright, we'll play A5. Back to our old garbage. Something unusual. Creative. Sigh. Why do I have to play A4 right away? You know? Who says that I have to play A4 right away? You want to play C4. Why don't you play C4? By the way. Elvest has left the building. I went through that phase when I was playing poker and I wasn't playing chess at all, but I would play Blitz sometimes online. And all I would ever do was like play H5 and A5 and just troll people with the lobster and the crab. It's fun to do that kind of garbage in fast games. Because people get upset when you play like trashy things. They lose their focus. You know, but I was thinking about another thing last night. Because opening theory is so much more easy to study than it was 30 years ago, I think there's a lot of really, really strong players who have based a lot of, like, even grandmasters who have based a lot of their games on opening memorization, you know, who probably wouldn't be that strong if you played something completely random against them. Their game will go down a little bit if you get them out of book. This is going to transpose to a kind of Rady style thing. I mean, a5 is not unusual here. I saw Elvest do this, but I don't think I can play a4. You just take it. I mean, what am I going to do? Maybe a kind of Catalan hybrid. G3. Why E3 versus G3? How do you decide? If the masters of the 60s had to learn openings on their own with no help from some opening explorer or chess base, so I would think a lot of the modern kids who become grandmasters based on memorizing a lot of theory are going to be weaker in other aspects of the game than they were 20, 30 years ago. It can be a handicap. Not to say like you can become a GM and be like bad at other aspects of the game. Just memorize a lot of openings, you're automatically going to get to GM. Absolutely not. Like, you have to have skills. But I think it's possible their skills are not up to the level they used to be. I would seriously think about it. You're like responding to a Fox News Trump comment. I have all these friends who are like Democrats, and they waste their time turning out like Russian troll farm accounts on Facebook for their pro-Trump posts. Why even waste your time typing those letters, Arsenal fan? It's just sick. I'm tempted to, though. I admit it. I'm tempted every time to like respond to those trolls. And you just have to say to yourself, don't do it. Don't be tempted. Jim's playing this great, though. He has this down to a science. It's very apparent. He's got this absolutely down to a science. And now D4. Control of E5. Just don't waste your breath, Arsenal. Don't let them know they're an idiot. Of course, here, like, they're mostly real people. It's just like sometimes I read articles like on BBC or some sort of semi-reliable news site, and you just can't resist like responding. I have to stop myself forcibly. Don't type in a response. You'll just get involved in this idiotic argument with a non-existent army of trolls. Now, I feel like white is better. Maybe it's my attitude here. Maybe I need to be more aggressive. But I don't like the placement of my rook. If I try to play c5, I feel like I'm reacting kind of passively here. Originally my plan was to play bishop f8. I guess I need to develop my knight. Jim is like an expert. What do we call this? It's essentially How would I call this? I'm playing the white side of the... What's it called? Zook retort. Kali system. Maybe bishop f8 is a bad move, actually. Should play bishop d6 after all. I guess it depends on what plan you want to execute. If he can play e4, maybe he's better. That whole definition of what is a Carlsbad arsenal, what is the Carlsbad exactly? I feel like that's a misnomer in a lot of cases. The Carlsbad structure. Really not sure. I think there's a definite variation in the Queen's Gambit, and this is controlling e5 again, where you play a6, and I think I should have done this before, where you play a6 and c6 in the Orthodox Queen's Gambit. And that's called the Carlsbad variation. But I've noticed a lot of sources calling everything the Carlsbad structure. Chess names, you know, aren't really set in stone by any official organization. It is definitely a beer. Isn't it? Carlsberg. Damn. Padre and Tony, speaking of fake news. That's the Danish beer Carlsberg. There is no Carlsbad beer, but it sounds like a good idea if you want to start a business. They already have Budweiser. That's the closest thing to a Carlsbad, I think. Carlsbad is Karlovy Vary in the Czech Republic, what is now Czechia. Alex. I'll take Central European countries for 300. Make a chess beer. So my theory is that Carlsbad is just a specific variation. Who decided they're going to call an entire structure the Carlsbad? Who has the right to say that? Where did that start? Another example of this kind of thing is the white side of the Nimzo. As far as I know, the idea of 4 knight e2 or 5 knight e2 against c5 in the Nimzo is called the Rubinstein system. But at some point they started calling every variation where white plays e3 on the 4th move the Rubinstein. I'm not sure. Like, what's the Rubinstein? Is it a variation or a pawn structure? I like the way that Jim's doing it too. He's making donations. I like my game. We held him off. Picked off a free a-pawn. Keeping him at bay. The e5 square. There he comes again. He's persistent. Very persistent. Yeah. No. Get out of here and come again. You're on my c6 pawn? Oh, jeez. Alright, we're going to have to modify our plans. I didn't plan on this. This wasn't supposed to happen. Damn it, you have the c6? Are you even kidding me? Damn. I can't believe it. I don't know, honestly. Who started using that terminology, Carlsbad? We know what you mean, though. That's what communication is about. I'm too much of a stickler for technical naming. I'm really losing it now. Jim is like playing the London system. That's what the London system people do. They try to line up everything on g6. One time I had this guy, he had like 13 pieces attacking my g6 square and he couldn't sacrifice on g6. It was a standard London system sort of thing. That was funny though. That one of my favorite London system games. He literally had every piece on the board attacking g6 and he still couldn't sacrifice there without just losing. It's kind of amusing. Like, that's your only concept. Damn it. He lost on time? Oh, no. Celebrating too early. Jim's gonna lose on time. He's a good bullet player. He's the Grishuk of my stream. You can't play bullet when you're playing Blitz. I think you're hanging on, man. I didn't like my structure. He can't shift gears from Blitz to bullet. Well, it's increment. You know, it's not the same. But you're not necessarily lost here. So Jan Gustafsson uses the term. Well, it's been used in a lot of instructional books. But I'm fairly sure that the A6 is called the Carlsbad system. We've got one more game. Troll and a roll, chess 960. No, I gotta go. Alright guys, it's 6:30. Sorry to tease you. I gotta go. It's 1:30, whatever. It's 6:30 somewhere. Thanks for the games, guys. We're gonna be back tomorrow night with a... By the way, with our game analysis stream. Waiting for the Schieberspieler submission. Is Schieberspieler shadow banned too with Jim? And I'll only play you if you're first, roll and roll. I gotta go. It's later than I thought. The Schieberspieler shadow ban is in effect. I never get my messages from Schieberspieler. I don't understand that. It must be my modern browser. Alright, I guess it just relates to you and a few other people. You might not be the only one. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. None of our friends are streaming, so I'm not going to raid anybody. We'll be back tomorrow night at 6:30 here with the analysis stream. Our highlight of the week. Thanks, guys. Thanks for playing. Thanks for beating me up, Arsenal. I don't think a premature resignation. Have a great day. I'll see everybody later. Bye-bye.